34,000 feet. We've been blethering and the aircraft is climbing away. We are on the jet stream, 83 knots. You see at the moment the frame is about, yeah, it's varying between 28 and 30, so it's not too bad. Obviously as we are like around airports with the scenery and the weather, there's a lot to take on. Jan Fox Gaming, why do I put that in the title? Because I am. But yeah, maybe I should remove that. Yeah. Yeah, maybe I should remove that. At the end of the day, people can come and have a look. If they like the stream, then they'll stay. If they don't like it, they'll go away. Yeah. But at least the information is out there, because some people still kind of come to the stream and then ask, "Oh, are you a pilot?" And I say yes. It's in the title, so if people look at the title and they see it, like, you know, that the information is there, then at least that's something they don't have to ask. I don't know. Is it a bad thing? Please tell me, because if you think that's it's a bad thing, then we're gonna be leveling off. You can see the engines kind of spooling back a little bit. Yeah, 36,000 feet. Yeah, that's partly why I. Wow, that was quite a sharp turn there. That's partly why I put, you know, I put in the title, but yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, if I wasn't, I wouldn't put it. I wouldn't put it down in the title, because I would simply make a fool of myself. If people think they have to deal with the pilot, and then after, like, you know, listening to the stream for 5 minutes, they realize that I'm talking, you know, PISS, then it would really, like, not be good on me, really. So, but at the same time, I don't have anything to prove. If people don't believe me, then it's fair enough. They'll have to kind of judge by the way I'm running the stream, and by the way I'm, you know, I'm talking about, like, aviation and flying in general. They'll have to work out if what I'm saying is kind of sounds genuine or not. Andre Falcon, that's why you click the stream. Yeah, I mean, it's not like, how can I say that? It's just to inform people that the stream, this is what the stream is about. The stream is about, like, flying. The stream is not about computers. It's not about gaming as per se. The stream is about simulation, simulating flying, and kind of sharing with you guys, you know, the thought process, the way, like, you know, some of the things are done, obviously within the constraint of the simulation and also of the stream. But yeah, it's to kind of talk about aviation, really. So I guess it could be of interest to people to you know, to know from the title, for example, that what the stream is about. Wow, already 80 miles to St. Louis. Fantastic. Yeah, the sun is not very far. I'll go to my favorite view. Top-down view. Hey. So we'll have Chicago here, I think next to the lake, and we're going down towards Dallas, which I think could be this one. Dallas, maybe Houston, and maybe Austin. I'm not sure, but yeah, kind of pointing in this direction. Florida, New York up here, Boston, Canada. So obviously in Europe it's all and over the Atlantic it's daylight, but the kind of line of light there is just about here, so we're starting to see the sun fairly soon. Gosford and Long Reach. Ooh, that's a lot of weather there. Yeah, take your time, JWindy 54, no problems at all. Hello, Mansox Canario, welcome to the stream. I'll be curious to see what the weather is in St. Louis, because there's a lot of red there. I'll do a quick weather search. KSTL. That's interesting, it just shows light rain. There's no sign of thunderstorm, but it does look quite nasty there. And we can actually see the cloud there. So I'm gonna do what we would do in real. In real, if there was on the weather radar like a big return like this, you wouldn't fly inside. And you can see the weather is kind of sticking out there. There's no flashes at the moment, but we're gonna take a heading to avoid the weather. So normally you can see the wind here is represented by this arrow there, so it's kind of coming from the side. Normally we would deviate like around the weather like upwind. So if the wind is coming from the right, you would go towards the right, because the weather here is creating possibly a bit of turbulence. So if you deviate kind of downwind from the weather, you will get maybe a bit of turbulence. But on this side it looks fairly all closed up. There's a big like line of weather. On this side it looks a little bit clearer, so we're still gonna deviate to the left and see what happens. Yeah, there's a big bucket of weather there. So I'll wait a little bit to see what the weather radar is gonna do. So what we can do, just in case there's any bumps. Actually the return has disappeared over the St. Louis viewer. It's just showing this one there. This is what we see here. Ahead it's kind of gone. Canarias, yeah, maybe one of those days, yeah. There's so many flights, so many destinations to do. But yeah, that's the CB there, and that's the return. And there's again a little bit of weather taking shape again over St. Louis. ATC in the States is fairly good. I think they've got a lot of weather radars as well, and they would know. Oh, there was a little flash down there. Yeah, and it's kind of developing again. So what we're gonna do, as we mentioned, Let's go heading select. Kind of go around it a little bit. Thank you very much for the follow. Top Sweep, welcome to the stream. Good day to you. So very exciting, a little bit of weather deviation. Yeah, again, you see as we get closer, the return like gets bigger again. So let's see outside what it looks like. We could have tried to get into it to fly over it, see if we get like shaken around or not. I mean, nobody's gonna suffer from that. It's obviously all simulated. Yeah, there's quite a big cloud there. To tell the truth, in the simulator I've never really tried. I've always well, when I'm on stream like this, I've always tried to show the way to do things and try to be good. But I'm not sure what would happen if you actually flew into this this kind of weather here and the sim. I don't know if the aircraft will get shaken around or not. There is certainly a good cloud mass here, that's for sure. In my mom's car, vroom vroom, vavavoom, oh. No, as we discussed that, yeah, I don't necessarily need, not necessarily need to tell you, no. But as I said, it's just to provide a bit of information, really. Oh, and there's further weather down there. Ooh, and it's flashing. Yeah, that's the cloud again, the CB we are avoiding. It's huge. I think it's above the aircraft. But once again, guys, I don't know if you fly through it, and the sim here, I don't know what would happen. And real flying through these, if you get like a big red return on the weather radar, if you fly through that, it's not gonna be good. Not good at all. But here, yeah, there's quite a few returns here. I'll go increase the range to see what's behind. I don't want to deviate too far. Yeah, I think after this it should be alright. So we'll go continue like this and then come back on the route. Obviously, if we were aware of some weather like this on the route, you would take maybe a little bit more fuel, or the dispatcher would add a little bit more fuel to cater for weather deviations, because obviously, you know, that's the route of the flight, and we are a little bit, you know, to the side, so we are covering more distance, so we'll burn obviously a little bit more fuel. In a sense, that's why I took Houston as the alternate, because we can go to Austin, and Austin is a little bit closer. I mean, Dallas got I can't remember how many runways, so even if in real one runway was to become blocked, unless the whole airport closes for some sort of like major issue going on at the airport. But otherwise, an airport like Dallas with so many runways, even if one runway gets blocked, then yeah, I'll have to look at these apps indeed. Yeah, Right, so that's the kind of last bit of weather we are trying to avoid here. So you try to kind of at least give yourself a good, I don't know, 10 mile, 20 mile margin to stay clear of any weather returns. Now what is good is that when it's bright enough outside, that's it's starting to become now, you can see the clouds as well, so you can navigate around the clouds visually and back up the weather avoidance with the weather radar. But when it's totally like pitch dark, you don't see the cloud outside, it's a little bit more difficult, and you do rely on the weather radar. Right, so that's pretty much it. We'll come back on the route. And LNAV, and whenever we're back on the route, LNAV will re-engage. And from Arnett it will be the arrival after that already. If you miss a waypoint, how do you skip that waypoint to get LNAV back on course? Depends if the waypoint has sequenced or not. In this case, is we passed St. Louis VOR, but we didn't fly on it, but it's still sequenced and went to the next waypoint, Arnett. So we're good. It's not gonna go back to St. Louis. If St. Louis had not sequenced and it was still showing St. Louis, then you would have to put Arnett on top of the legs page there and resequence the navigation basically. But in this case it's okay because it's the navigation has sequenced to the next waypoint, so it's good. If it doesn't sequence to the next waypoint, then you have to do it yourself. You have to help the computer, like working it out. Yeah, the moon, last quarter of the moon. Oh, and here's the sun. You can see a tiny bit of the sun coming up. Beautiful. Yeah, it will be daylight by the time we get to Dallas. No problem, Ruthless Terror. No problem at all. This is the sequencing of the waypoints on LNAV is fairly important on the approach, and then in case of a go around, if you have on the final approach you have maybe 2 or 3 points, and ATC vectors you in inside of the third point, if the FMC doesn't sequence the waypoints properly, it's still gonna look behind. And so you're gonna be on short final with the FMC still looking behind at the waypoint you skipped. And then if you go around, instead of going straight ahead and maybe, I don't know, having a little left turn or right turn, it's gonna turn you all the way back to the point that you skipped. So on final approach, it's even more critical, because if you have to go around and basically like climb straight ahead, and instead of doing that you turn and you go back towards the approach, then it's not good. So on the approach you need to make sure that the FMC waypoints are all sequenced the way they should. My day is doing well. I'm on holiday. Yeah, because some of you were wondering why or how I managed to spend so much time on the stream. So yeah, I do manage to spend time because I'm on holiday, and yeah. But otherwise, yeah, I would be at work. That's for sure. That's all smoothed out again. There was no major turbulence. Let the passengers go. Insufficient fuel. Okay. We get the insufficient fuel not because we're gonna run out of fuel, because we still have quite a lot of fuel for the rest of the flight, but it shouldn't be too long before it rises. Good morning, America. Well, on the East Coast it's obviously an hour later, so on the East Coast it's well up. But on the West Coast they'll still be in the dark. Yeah, we're kind of Midwest. It's not a pretty sight when you've been flying all night, let me tell you. When the sun comes up like this and you're tired, your eyes are a little bit like itchy and kind of full of sleep, and then the sun like is shining in your face and in your eyes. It's not good. Yeah, direct to Arnett now. Yeah, direct, yeah. And then on to the arrival. So let's run it right via the Seaver. Yeah, insufficient fuel once again. Oh yeah, I was explaining that before we got the phone call. Seaver 4 via, was it Axi? Oh no, Ronnie. Thank you very much for the follow, Jetsu14. Thank you very much. And then Ikel. Let's see what happens. Then we look at the legs page. I know it's not Ronnie. Oh, I've mistaken it. Ronnie and Arnett. No! So let's try again. Seaver 4. See, I misplaced the chart. Now I need to find it again on the other computer. That's it. Arnett. Where is Arnett? Finger trouble earlier on and Ikel. Okay. So we are routing to Arnett. That's good. Then we are going to Plaise. Then to Chimley. Then to Just. Then to Switch. At 290 knots. But this is, oh no, it's at 290 knots. It's not. So we'll have to set 290 knots in the descent. So decimal 829 slash 290. It's the wrong. Whoa, my brain is not in gear now. So switch 290, 300 or below and 240 above, as we said earlier on when we looked at the chart. Then to Them 210 and 290 knots. Then to Seaver 270 knots. 13,000, 16,000, yeah. then to bridge, and then to NOS, bridge 250, NOS 240, yapped 6,000, 230 knots, and then we go on vectors, and then to EKL. So actually we're gonna get rid of the vectors there, set EKL and join yapped and EKL. That will do the trick. Then you've got EKL 4000, Johan 3000, Legre 3000, then Netty. So maybe we're gonna reduce the speed a little bit there. And then the right turn to legs 3000. Okay, it's good. So I was talking earlier on about the insufficient fuel message. The A next to the altitude, that means at or above. So you don't necessarily need to cross the waypoint at the specified altitude. It can be either at the altitude that is mentioned or above it. Yeah, so to get rid of that message, you will go into the index performance page there, performance init, and basically you get the insufficient fuel message when the computer predicts that you're gonna land below your reserve fuel. The reserve fuel there, as you can see, is 9.6. It's predicting we're gonna land with 9.2, so I'm gonna have to get rid of the message. You can set like another number for the reserve. So if you set 8.5, the message is not going to come back until we get to a predicted fuel on landing of 8.5 or less. Then the message will come back again. So 8.9 on landing. Oh, it's come down again. So let's say 9 tons plus 243, that's going to be 252.7 for the landing weight. Yeah, we'll go for flap 30. Go for auto brake 2. And the minimums, we said it was 810. Oh man. Oh, this is not very fast. Almost there. 810. Bingo. We'll listen to the weather. So this time 122025.
Kilo Delta Foxtrot Whiskey Airport Information Uniform 1153 Zulu Weather Wind 166 at 12 gusting to 18 visibility 10 sky condition ceiling 1600 broken temperature 19 dew point 17 altimeter 3001 advise on initial contact you have information uniform Kilo Delta Foxtrot Whiskey Airport Information Uniform 1153 Zulu Weather Wind 166 at 12 gusting to 18 visibility 10 sky condition ceiling 1600 broken temperature 19 dew point 17 altimeter 3001 advise on initial
Kilo Delta
3001 will be the altimeter setting, broken at 1600 feet, 19 degrees. Yeah, it's a bit of a humid morning down in Dallas. Thank you very much for the follow here, ground cookie. Yeah, this is VATSIM, although the ATIS is active sky 16. Check the recall. There's nothing there. The landing data, we are 3144. Minimum's 810. The FMC is set. And 11.9 was the ILS frequency. No problem, Germany 54. 11.9, and we'll be looking for India Victor Yankee November. Beautiful. 40 miles to the top of descent. Yeah, up here the T/D in green is for top of descent and nothing else. I know some people sometimes are wondering, is that top of drop, is it? No, it's top of descent. The CTP event, I'm not sure. When is the CTP event? If I'm around, I can try to do it, but I doubt I'll be around. You see, I'm not always around. Do you know, guys, when the CTP is on? Oh, this Saturday. No, this Saturday, as I said, I'm away from. I'm gonna be away now, so yeah. No, I'm not gonna be here on Saturday, unfortunately. Across the Atlantic. Squirrel ski-bombed. Indeed, we are. I mean, there's not many people around. It's 6:30 in the morning in well, Dallas, kind of central time. The sun is up, but I doubt that 6:30 in the morning there will be many people on. But I'm obviously not in this time zone, so for me it's a little bit later during the day. So it's alright. Dallas, Texas. Good morning, Texas. Yeah, Giant Unicorn, the route courtesy of FlightAware, and seem to be waypoint to waypoint. No airways today, just fly waypoint to waypoint. 1250, yeah, that looks correct. 1249, yeah, bang on. We'll reattach the passengers. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Go back to your seat. Fasten your seatbelts. Help the cabin crew tidy up. No, I'm on Quantas, they wouldn't do that. Yeah, I think the direct... Well, the flight plan on FlightAware was waypoint, so it was Asito, Adele, Arlene. There was no direct in between. But when I put it down in PFPX, then it gives you the directs. So that's maybe why the directs are showing. Squirrel ski-bombed. Are you related to Squirrel, the streamer? Well, related, not related. but a kind of fan of Squirrel, the streamer. Or the name is totally, well, doesn't come from that. No problem. Yep, yeah, get corrected. So can you just put like waypoint, but not the direct in between, yeah? Or flying direct to, or flying waypoint to waypoint is no good. Is that what you mean? Don't put the direct in the flight plan, but you can still fly from waypoint to waypoint. Is that what you mean? Yeah, the FW is huge. It's amazing, the FW. Yeah. Is it 18 right, 18 center, 18 left, 17 right, 17 center, 17 left, and 3113? I don't know how many runways. Oh, so yeah, you're a fan of Squirrel. Yeah, it's a good man, Squirrel. I'm not advertising his stream, but chilled out. Ah, okay, so don't put the DCT, the direct, in the flight plan. You can go waypoint to waypoint, but don't write the DCT. Okay, yeah, that's good to know. Yeah, normally, yeah, direct is okay. So there's no 18 center yet. I'm getting confused. Anyway, there's a huge amount of runways. The whole airport complex is huge. It's absolutely huge. But at the same time, it feels quiet. It's one of the things that kind of baffles me a little bit, is that you've got these huge airports, but they are so big that they do feel like it's fairly quiet for some reason. No, we can't smoke anymore, no. But I believe in some sceneries, in some cockpit configurations there's yeah, the smoke evacuation there, and you always hear guys who flew on the 747 before, and at the time when they could smoke, they were like smoking in the flight deck and then pulling on this thing there to like suck the smoke out of the flight deck, so people pretend. So that's quite interesting. But nowadays, no, I mean, the same as passengers can't smoke, then we can't smoke either. Little airport down there, little kind of lake. We're getting close. feet, we'll set the lights. And the altimeter is 3001 is set. That's the code checklist complete. I don't want to sound a little rascal. I don't want to sound like an old geek and like a fun spoiler, but from a kind of safety perspective, it's not a very good idea to smoke in the toilet, because fire is kind of the biggest enemy of an aircraft. If there's a fire on the aircraft and the fire cannot be controlled within the first you know, few minutes. Basically, it's a very serious situation. So I would, as I said, I don't want to sound like an old fart, but yeah, it's a good idea to avoid smoking in the aircraft. You know, any sources of fire is really like it's a very serious business, basically. No worries. As I said, I don't want to, you know. I don't want to sound like an old fart, but yeah. Because they say once the fire is out of control, like for 15 minutes, then the aircraft will just fall apart and burn in the sky. So it's not very nice. Anyway, doing fairly well here. Getting a little bit more cloudy. We'll go down to 4,000 feet. Then take the ILS from there. KD54, bye bye. Flaps 1.
Speed check. Flaps 1 selected.
So now is a good time to arm the approach, because we are on a heading to intercept the ILS. The ILS is that's the ILS center line here. So we are on course to intercept the ILS. So now is a good time to arm the approach mode. We've got the ILS identified here, India Victor Yankee November. So now is a good time. Flaps 5.
Flaps 5 selected.
We'll reduce the rate of descent to help the aircraft decelerate. And we'll try to achieve also a continuous descent approach. Yeah, guys, if you're like smokers, from like a pilot's point of view, as I said, I'm talking in terms of safety. It's a really bad idea, because you never know like what could happen, and if the aircraft catches fire, then it's a very serious situation. Yeah, you would do this, and the way I fly the simulator is the way I would fly in real. It's exactly the same way. That's why I was talking earlier on about, you know, sharing like the thought process and the you know, our kind of mental picture and the way we do things. That's exactly the way I would fly in real. It's not the only way to fly, but that's the way I would personally fly. Oh yeah, the Delta L1011, the one with the wind shear, was it? Flaps 10.
Flaps 10 selected.
That's why I also like to use the likes of that's why I like to use the likes of multi-crew experience also to show a little bit the kind of crew work, because there's two of us in the flight deck, and it's not the one guy that does everything. So for example, for the flaps to do this, to do that, it's good to do it with multi-crew experience. Multi-crew experience is not ideal, but it's alright. So after EKL we can go down to 3,000 feet. So we'll continue a slow descent. We are now on the ILS, well, more on the localizer part of the ILS. The glide slope, it's still above us, so that's why I kind of descend with a shallow rate of descent to try to intercept the ILS from below and still continue the descent. We'll see if it works out. It might not work out, but yeah, you have to try to find ways, alternative ways to get your nicotine input, I guess. Yeah, we are right in the soup there at the moment. Yeah, I was going to say beautiful kind of lake, and now we're like right in the soup. Okay, we'll concentrate on the insufficient fuel again. Well, the flight planning with PFPX I've noticed with the although today we did a bit of weather deviation, but the flight planning with PFPX I'm not convinced it's bang on. You know, on the 777 and the 737 it's good. But I've got the feeling with the 747 is not exactly accurate. 3,000 will be the missed approach altitude, so it's already here. Once we get to capture the glide slope, then we'll continue the descent on the approach with the glide slope, and the missed approach altitude will already be set, so we don't have to touch it. The runway heading is here. It's automatically tuned by the autopilot. Once we intercept the localizer, the heading here changes to the runway heading 176 in this instance. So obviously here I'm kind of like flying on my own, so I can adjust the speed the way I want and fly like easy. And in a busy ATC environment, sometimes they could ask you to keep the speed up, to either slow down like now the way I'm doing. Then you have to try to accommodate ATC as well, which is not always easy and which can kind of put you sometimes in awkward situation. But if you feel it's too much, then you have to let them know, listen, I can't do that. Or the glide slope capture now, so we catch the we've caught the glide slope, and we're now gonna descend following the glide slope. So we can see the runway complex in DFW, runway 18 right, 18 left, then the 17s, and these are the 1331s I think in this direction, so a lot of runways.
2500.
Gear down.
Gear speed check. Coming down.
Flaps 20.
Flaps 20 selected.
Yeah, I don't think it's been updated either, to tell the truth. So maybe they need to work on that. I don't know if they keep updating the software or not. There's a few bumps.
Gear down and locked.
Flaps 30.
Flaps 30 selected.
So landing checklist, the speed brake is armed, gear down, green, and flap 30, green. Landing checklist complete. Yeah, check the airport complex. I mean, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. Can we see AT&T Stadium? It's hard. It would be somewhere around here, but it's hard to see. Alright, autopilot is coming off. Got flight director. The wind is a little bit gusty. Yep. And auto throttle off. Here we are. Wish me luck.
Approaching minimums.
Cheek.
Minimums.
Landing. Trying to.
100.
With the FPS. It's really not smooth, like, man.
50. 30. 20. 10.
This thing stops in no time. It's really good for that. Alright, and we'll take the exit here. Here we are. Hey, no bother. Giant unicorn. It's good fun, really good fun. Alright, so we're gonna cross the parallel runway.
Approaching 18 left.
There's nobody around. Not sure of the layout of the airport here in this scenery. Oh yeah, we'll go to Delta 12 then. Yeah. Okay. We go for American Airlines. So we'll go right here on Gulf, and then around the corner Delta 12. Clean up. Clean up.
Okay.
If you have the long runway, it's not so much to do with a long runway.
Okay, let me check. Captain.
Sorry, he's picked up what I'm saying. It's not so much to do with the
Right,
runway.
landing, Captain.
The reverse is more to do with the brake temperature. No, wrong line. Yeah, it's to do with the brake temperature. You use the reverse to keep the brake temperature as cool as possible. If the brake temperature is not an issue because you've got like a long runway and you're fairly light, the brakes are not gonna work too hard, so you don't need to relieve the brakes by using full reverse. In that case, you would use what we call idle reverse, which is basically to deploy the reversers like sleeves on the engines, but it doesn't really. It just puts the sleeves into position, but it doesn't really deploy the full reverse, so it's just what we call idle reverse. And yeah, we do that if the brake temperature is not an issue, but otherwise if we think the brakes are gonna get a little bit hot, we'll use the reversers. The reversers don't really influence too much the landing distance. The brakes do much of or most of the work, should I say. Lights and doors.
Cabin crew, disarm doors and cross-check.
Ah, stopped again in the turn, man. I don't
You
know.
are the best, Captain.
He's so kind, the first officer. That will do. Parking brake set. APU is running. Go 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah, that's the airport layout. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. So 17 left, 17 center, 17 right, 18 left, 18 right, and these are the two parallel 1331, I think. So it's a huge complex.